What's going on, Florida? It's me, Noel Santana. And as you can see, the elderflowers are in full bloom. The elderberries are there. There's lots of both. So I'm going to harvest both of them. I'm going to get some dry berries going for tea. I'm going to get a bunch of dry flower going for tea. And then all the rest of the berries, I'm going to make syrup. All right. So I had a few elderberries that I threw in the freezer. I just took all the stems off. So my fingers are a little purple. And then I got these fresh. I have to do the same, take it off of the stems. Okay, now I've got all of the elderberries, fresh and frozen, all into this. It's about just over 1 quart. Okay, so now we are at the same level that we were at with the berries with water. And we're gonna add that to the pot. We have our berries right here. So at this stage, you can double check it for any green unripe berries. They will float to the top. Let's see 2 of them, maybe 3. Okay, now after hitting it with the immersion blender really good and getting it pretty pureed, you see the seeds floating around. It looks nice and thick from all of the pulp. Now I'm gonna strain it a few times. Strainer set up. Okay, so after throwing it in the strainer, I move it around with the spoon a little bit. And that's the pulp. I'm gonna put it aside over here. And I'm gonna repeat the process until this is all strained out. Okay, so now we have filtered juice and we have the pulp. And what I'm gonna do now is put just enough water in here to move that around with the blender and get 1 more rinse out of it. Okay, so that should be enough water to get a good rinse out of it. Okay, and this is our second rinse. You see how dark that is? It's still very dark even though it's the second rinse, but it's a lot thinner. And I don't like to do more than 2 rinses because then I feel like it changes the flavor. You end up extracting a lot of the natural wax that the fruit has, and then you have to skim it out. You don't really have to. It's not like you can't eat it, but it does change the flavor. It makes it taste more like prune juice. I've noticed when you use, if you use dry elderberries, they also taste more like prune juice. When it's fresh, it tastes a lot like grape juice. There's been a few things that I've done to make it end up tasting like prune juice. If you reduce it too much, it starts to taste like prune juice. If you use dry ones, it tastes like prune juice. If you strain the skin and seeds too many times, prune juice. Okay, as you can see, after all of the straining and rinsing, we ended up with 2 quarts. Just over 2 quarts. I'd say, actually it's just under the 3 quart mark, so a little over 2.5 quarts. From a little over 1 quart to a little over 2.5. And now I'm going to put it back in the pot, add 1 quart of sugar, and bring it to a boil. Okay, as it's approaching a rolling boil, you'll see this foam start to appear. This is the wax that I was referring to earlier. A lot of fruits have like a natural wax coating on the skin to help protect it from the elements and from insects. You just skim this right off. I have a little collection bucket going here. Once you're done, you'll be left with the pure elderberry syrup without the wax. Let's freeze real quick. I love a good origin story. And the origin of the word sincere actually comes from when they used to make marble statues. If there was imperfections, they would fill it with wax. And if it didn't have wax, it was sincere. If you have access to elder, I sincerely hope you found this useful. If not, you can always get elderberry syrup at what'sgrowingonflorida.com.